YouTube? It's your girl Totally Taniya, and I'm back with another video. If you are new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button and hit the bell so that you are notified every time I post. Now, if you've already seen the title, then you already know what this video is going to be about. And I just want to make a disclaimer. I am not mad at anyone. I don't hold any grudges or anything like that. When you're in college, things happen. You live, you learn, you know what I'm saying? You have the most crazy experiences. And so it is what it is. I'm not mad, but now that I look back on it, I think it's pretty funny. In the moment, I was so pissed, but now, you know, I can look back on it and I can laugh and talk about it. And so I'm going to share it with you guys. So last year around, I would say Halloween time, one of my roommates, we are going to call her, we're going to call her Megan. So Megan texted our roommate group chat and was like, oh, I'm gonna be having friends over this weekend. They're gonna be sleeping on the couch. Now, my first thought was, when I saw, you know, the message, you need to have your company in your room because, you know, all of us, we like to move around, you know, when we go to the kitchen, when we're in and out. It's just, you know, it's a bit much. But again, we all pay rent there, so you can't really tell the next person what to do, you know, and that's the hard thing about roommating. You can't say, oh, you can't do this or you can't do that, because, you know, you all are sharing a common space and everybody is paying for it. So nobody responded to the message, but all of us saw it. So part of me was thinking, okay, we're all feeling the same way, but it is what it is. So that weekend rolls around or whatever. Everything's cool, copacetic, you know, nothing major is going on. I see her friends, I say hi, whatever the case may be. Now, what did throw me off was the fact that it was like more than like a couple of friends. It was like 4 or 5 people. So I was a little thrown off with that, but whatever. That Saturday rolled around, I went to what we call like a social. It's like a little kickback, a little getty or whatever. And so went there, came back. It was 2 something going on 3. So at that point, you know, I'm ready to shower because I've been out, I've been around people, yada yada yada. So I'm ready to shower, get in my bed, you know. Next day is Sunday. I still had stuff to do. So I hear like banging. Now, if you're in college, you know you're going to hear noise throughout the night, throughout the day. That's just what it is. So part of me was thinking, oh, maybe it's the people upstairs, maybe it's the people next door, whatever the case may be. A couple of minutes later, I'm still hearing like banging. So I'm like, nobody was in the living room when I came home. It was very quiet. So I'm like, is anybody even home? I opened my door, and you know how you can look like at the bottom of, you know, the door and see if lights are on. All of my roommates' lights were off. So I was like, okay, everybody's gone, and I'm not expecting any company. So look out the peephole. 2 guys, 1 girl. I asked who is it, you know, and the guy says his name or whatever, but I didn't know who he was, of course. So I crack open the door and I'm like, hi, how may I help you? You know what I'm saying? And he asks for one of my roommates. I'm gonna call her Riley. So he was asking for Riley, and I'm like, Riley is not here right now. You should give her a call, or whatever the case may be. Now, the other guy and the young lady weren't saying anything, but this guy, I could tell like he was intoxicated. Of course, it's a Saturday night. He's drunk, he's high, whatever the case may be. So he has the nerve to ask me if he can wait inside of my house for Riley. And I simply responded to him, no, just because I didn't know him like that, which I didn't know who this guy was. So I was just like, yeah, no, you should call her. Closed, locked my door. I'm thinking everything's okay, so I'm calling Riley. Riley's not answering. I text the group chat and I'm like, hey, you know, somebody's at the door looking for you. So in the midst of all this going on, I'm still hearing like banging. So he's still knocking on, you know, my door. So now Megan responds in the group chat and like, those are my friends, let them in, or whatever. Now, come to find out, the girl that was there lived upstairs. And in order to get into our building, you had to have a key. And you had to go through like a little lobby area or whatever. And so my thing was, why not go to her apartment or sit in the lobby? Because it was cold, it was fall time or whatever case may be. But I didn't care if hell was freezing. They weren't coming into my apartment. And so they're still the guy still banging. And I'm like, I'm not letting these people in here. Like, I don't know what you guys have going on, but when you get here, you can let your company in. Simple as that. So next thing I know, in the midst of the banging, my other roommate, we're gonna call her Sarah. Sarah, she had a boyfriend, so she was always at her boyfriend's house or whatnot. But she was reading the chat. Sarah texted me separately and was like, girl, you're there by yourself. It's late. If you don't feel comfortable, don't do it. And I was like, girl, I'm not. And so, you know, he's still banging. And at this point, I'm getting mad because I've already said no. And like I said, the girl lived upstairs, which you could have went to her place, which I was like, why didn't they go there? So that kind of like reassured me that, you know, I made the right decision about never even letting them in my house, because you're with somebody who lives nearby. Why in the hell isn't she letting you in her place? You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, all of them probably were intoxicated, because anyone with better judgment would have been like, okay, let's go upstairs or let's sit in the lobby, not sit there and bang on this girl's door, and the people who I'm looking for aren't even here. Just as I don't know you, you don't know me. I'm just like, this is stupid. Like, I'm ready to go to bed. But as I was saying, he's still banging. And I'm like, what the hell? So I'm like, who can I call? Because at this point, I don't want to call the cops, because here we are, a little black girl. I attend a predominantly white institution. I'm upset, you know, so I'm like, no, we're not calling the cops. So I call my dad. You know, mind you, at this point it's 3 something in the morning. I'm like, Pops, you know, this is what's happening, yada yada yada. And so while I'm talking to my pops, explaining to him what's going on, he's still banging. So now I'm pissed. So I go up to the door and I bang on it from my side. I don't know why I did that, but I guess I was just pretty mad. And so I'm banging and I'm like, sir, stop knocking on my damn door or whatever. You're not getting in here. Yada, 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 yada. So banging stops. And my dad was like, if he keeps banging, call the police. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, he's not banging anymore. I stay on the phone with my dad for a couple of minutes, right? So hang up, I shower, get in my bed. Riley ends up coming home, letting them in, right? Next day, I send a long message in the chat, because that was just the last straw for me. Like, you guys have tried me as far as upkeep of the apartment. You guys have tried me with loudness. You guys have tried me with so much, but you're not gonna try my safety. So I sent a long message. You know, I was very respectful as I could be, but I was very assertive and made sure that I made myself clear about, you guys need to clean up after yourself. You're responsible for your company, not me. You know, amongst other things. Nobody responded, but Sarah let me know when I saw her in person that she saw it. Riley let me know that she saw it, and she was like, yeah, I don't even know why they were asking for me. You know, she said her phone was dead, that's why she wasn't responding. But she was like, those weren't even her friends, those were Megan's friends. But of course, she knew them, she knew of them, but they weren't her friends. So that further reassured me that they were intoxicated, because you're asking for the wrong individual. And it was a whole lot. That was my first and hopefully the last experience I'll have like that. Now we're almost a year later. I look back and I laugh at how mad I was, how I never thought, you know, something like that would happen, but it did. And I think I handled it pretty well, better than some people would have. But yeah, that is my college horror story. Of course, I'm still in college. I have plenty more days to go. Hopefully don't nobody want no smoke with me, but who knows, we'll see. On that note, that is all I have for you guys today. Click that like button if you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you guys in the next one.